I came back down to work on the Dodge again. Guess what? When they say some images may be disturbing, viewer discretion is advised. I had a visitor while I was gone. Hello, little guy. Little Fluffy. Sorry to break up your home. You are evicted. I'm going to get in here and see if I can get at that ignition switch and see what I can find out. Okay. There's the ignition switch. I tried to get it from underneath here, but there's a pretty wide lip here. I can't get to the underneath there to see anything. So I loosened up this little bezel. Let's see if I can work that out from underneath. All the wires and cables right there in that area. Room to go up or down. I get about another inch on it. I can drop it down under that shelf. There it is. Oh, almost. I think I got a wire holding me. Let's see if I can get down there. Take a look. Okay, here's the switch I'm trying to get to. The ignition switch. You can see. Okay, I got a hot there. Coming from the battery. Got a hot here. Got nothing here, so I'm assuming that's the hot going to the ignition. Let me see if I can get the switch. Let's see if we get anything. Okay, that should be ignition on. I take it back. This must be the hot from the battery. That should be the ignition switch there. And I'm losing power on this post now. Let me switch it back. Key's a little worn out, I believe. Could be the switches too. Okay, key is off. Okay, hot there. So that must be coming from the battery. But that's hot too. I wonder if that's backwards. I wonder if this heavy red should be going to the coil. This is the heavy red going to the headlight switch, coming from the battery, and going to the ignition switch. So this is hot from the battery. Yeah. switch is off, and I'm hot on that post, and still nothing on this post. So let me try the coil wire with that switch turned off. Let me see if I'm getting anything that way.
Dinner's ready.
Mom's calling me to supper.
I have to go.
So I'm going to be taking a break here. Catch you in a few minutes here. Take a little break here to burn one off and think about this a minute. We're just going to take them out and try and clean them up a little. Try and crank that while I got the camera down there to see if the points are opening. Take them off and recheck the gap. I'll be back in a minute. Now, before I take them off, let me check my, see if we're hot. Yep. Out there to the point. One up there. I'm getting through the points now. Points aren't making any contact. Ew. Trying to twist the adjuster screw out. That doesn't work very good. Gotta get to that. Down the screw for the points, the condenser wire, get that off. Can't remember, I can't tell if that's a screw or a nut. A little wrench. Probably a standard screw, and all I have is metric ignition wrenches here. Too small. Too big. Oop. Just gonna find something to fit that. Well, that is a screw, but it's got a hex head on it, and it's a 1/4 inch. There's the condenser wire. Coil wire. Get the points now. There you go. And it's still a little carboned up there on the contacts. Clean them up a little better. Drop my sandpaper. I know, I'm a hack. Don't use sandpaper on points. Well, I'm gonna. Being as I don't have a points file, that looks pretty good. Try and keep a flat surface on that. Still a little carbon on there. Get a little finer sandpaper. That stuff I was using is pretty coarse. Okay. Okay, that's looking much better. Clean off these wire connection tabs a little. Okay, see what that does for getting juice through the points now. Stick those back in. My apologies if you can't see what I'm doing. I can't either. Back with that on there. There we go. Oop. There we go. Looking better. There, got my condenser and distributor wire back on. Tuck them down in a little. Just like that. We need to turn that over. So we can get to that screw. Okay. Not much room to work in there. that's tight. And let me see if I can get my points adjusted. To bump out a little, get it up on the lobe. There we go. Grab a filler gauge. Those points should be, wrote that down somewhere, 20 thousandths. Now, what was that? Used to be able to use a matchbook cover to set the points. Yeah, there's our 20 thousandths. Here's my screwdriver. Here it is. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that's a little too big. Now I guess I ought to put the retaining screw back in first. Give my handy dandy screw starter here. Stick that on there. Clamp it in, and we're good to go. If I can find a hole, which is right there. Don't cross thread, dummy. Okay. Recheck the gap. A little tight. Get back up a little bit. Yeah. Well, I believe that'd be right on the money. Let's see if we get some juice across the points now. Test light. Jumper back on. out there. Up there. No heat across the coil. I'm assuming that's because the plugs are open. My starter stick. It's hot. It's not. What happened? Juice it. Juice at the points now. Knock something loose. Jumper's hot. I hope it didn't screw that coil up already. What am I doing? I'm sure running a hot straight to the coil would hurt anything. It gets hot water from the ignition switch. That stays hot while your engine's running. It's tight. What is going on? Well, okay, we're back here again. After that last comment, I remember an old joke for some of you old timers. Says, you can call me fat, you can call me ugly, you can call me stupid, but don't you dare call me late for supper. Oh well. Due to the problems with the ignition switch, something screwed up there, I'm going to try a jumper from the battery or the hot on the starter directly to the coil, which I got a new coil, 6-volt coil for the engine. The other one, I think I told you, I found that big old crack in it. So I decided to just go ahead and get a new coil, and we'll try that and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to run a jump here from the hot on the battery. And I want to put that to the negative on the coil. This would be this side. And we'll hook our That's the wire in question from the ignition switch, or the starter, yeah, ignition switch inside. This would be the wire going to the distributor. Nothing washer on that. I got some expert advice from my mentor, my idol, my hero, my big brother Carl. He walked through some wiring stuff on me and helped me get my mind straight a little bit. And he's a big help in everything I do. Let me get this ignition hooked back up. Distributor hooked back in there. I had to put a little wad in here to, that coil's a little smaller diameter than the one that was in there. So I stuck a chunk of cardboard in there to hold her in place somewhat. Okay, I think we're ready to try for some spark here, see what happens. Let me get my stick for hitting the manual start lever. Try and get that to kick down. Here's my spark plug. Hope my big head ain't blocking the picture. See if we get any spark there. Got to get in there just the right angle to get enough throw on the starter switch. There we go. Maybe. Nope, nothing. Well, so much for that idea. I think I'll have to take the cover off the distributor and recheck that. Take my jumpers off of here. I had to move the camera there a little bit so you could see what I was doing. Wasn't poking my big head in front of everything. Like I said, put my jumper back on. We're hot there, hot through the coil. This wire runs down to the back of the distributor. There it is. We're hot there, going to the distributor. Well, let's take a peek inside. See what we get. Distributor there looks real nice. Get that out of the way a little. Oh, I lost a clip for my rotor button. Huh. Where did that go? The contact up here is pretty good. I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and brush that up. It's a little corroded here on the front end. That looks pretty good there. My clip's missing. I'm going to put you on hold here a second, see if I can find that. Okay, I found it. Oh, that popped out. That goes in there, matching up the flats on the it's in there now. Seems pretty solid. Got it in there a little crooked. And now I won't be able to get it out. Screw around and break it again. Turn that a little. There, it dropped in. Yeah, there's flats there in the rotor head that tab got to drop into. Okay. Turned it over and it dropped out. Bend this little tab letter. It's like a holder. Presses in there. Get it in straight this time. Push that tab down a little. Yeah, it's staying in there now. Get a little piece of sandpaper to clean that off. Good. Freshen that up a little. Okay. Well, since I got that contact back in there, let me try this again. Might not be a problem. Well, might not be a problem with the points. Okay, got that back on there. Try this once again. Cap lined up where it goes. Right there. jumper back on. Double check. It's hot. Hot. Hot down there. Okay. Too much junk laying up here. Okay. Let's hit the starter again. Hopefully you can see everything. Nope. Let's try a different plug. These are all kind of oily. I'm going to put oil on the cylinders. Give that a little cleaning. Well, there's the compressor. I'll wait until that stops. Okay. Try this again. Cleaned off a different plug here. Down on the ground. My starter stick. Nothing. And let's go back to the distributor. Contacts in there. Everything's not a mark on it. Clip still in the rotor. Ooh, I didn't see that before. The points are real nasty looking. Well, not nasty, but they got some corrosion on them. I don't have a points file. Try a little bit of paper here. Get this dipstick out of the way. Get you down there. Okay, back at her again. Did a little cipher here, rechecked the distributor. When I had them points out, I put them back in. I missed the copper band that comes up and gets screwed down with the condenser and the coil wire. That was not connected, so that was holding my spark up, I do believe. Let me get my jumper wire again. Got held up there a little bit. My buddy Jeremy came out. He was working on his new boat, getting it set up to get ready to go to Lake Erie to do some fishing. So we got some work done on that. Make sure we're still hot there. Yep. Coil back up. Not showing hot, but I think the points are open. Let me crank her over here and see if we get some juice. Yes, sir. Well, let's see if we're getting any sparks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Turn the light off here. Yeah, I like it. Well, it sounds like I got to put a little more charge back on the battery. I'm playing around here using up battery. Take it off. Jumper out of the way. Well, I think I'll put the charger on the battery, let that charge up overnight, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. Maybe even take the air cleaner off and dump a little juice in her. A little dinosaur juice, as Terrell would say. See if we get any fire in the hole. You guys like the videos? Go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe if you like. And we'll catch you tomorrow.